Well, it's a wild night here in Auckland. Winds are gusting up to 100 kilometres an hour, and it's 7:30, or approaching 7:30. And this evening we're playing Strike of the Eagle. It's the third week in a row we're playing a scenario from this game, and this week we're playing scenario 4 over the corpse, and it'll be a three-player game over 2 rounds. The third and fourth rounds, and essentially in this game the Russians will be setting up close to the Russian border along Kiev and in the Ukraine, and the Polish will be facing them, and in the north the Russians are going to be in superior numbers, and they'll be looking to push the Polish right back and even try and capture Warsaw. So it's going to be a game where the Polish are going to be on the back foot on this scenario. And the objectives for this game, the Poles receive 5 victory points at the end of round 3 and 4 if the Soviets do not reach the outskirts of Warsaw, and the side with the most VPs at the end wins. If any side gets 15 VPs at any point, they win the game automatically. So it's going to be a test of the Polish forces that are going to be deployed here, if they can keep them out, the Russians out of Warsaw. So, we're not sure who's playing what side yet, but we'll be launching into it very shortly. That's Strike of the Eagle, Scenario 4, coming up. Okay, so we're at the end of round 1 of the 2-round scenario, Scenario 4, and Petra's going to give us a quick rundown on where we are positioned on the field.
Okay, so reporting from the Soviet-Polish War front lines. In the north it's a very fluid, hectic situation with Polish forces cut off and in full retreat, although in the southern portion of the northern front it's been slightly better with opportunities to retreat in good order, and even capturing a Soviet general. Well, he escaped, but
he was drunk on the vodka. What was he doing?
He got shot by some partisans while he was trying to escape.
Yes.
And then in the south it's been a bit of to and fro, and attack followed by counter-attack, and initially it was a strong attack down the very south, but then some moving of forces has seen some strong reinforcements down there. Now the centre is weak, but no significant movements along the front lines. That's about it.
So we're the Soviets are continuing to drive on to Warsaw. But from the Soviet perspective, I don't think we've progressed anywhere near as far as we would have liked. We've taken some major losses, and I think the Polish have outplayed us in this first round. But we have some reinforcements coming on, and we are re-energised and ready to take on the Poles in the round 2. It's now 1 a.m. in the morning, and unfortunately we haven't had time to finish this scenario. We're up to the 3rd phase and the 2nd round of this scenario, so there would have been 2 more phases to go. But here's an update of where we're at. So the Poles have held the southern front strongly and are actually threatening offensive moves. In the northern front, the Russians are pushing ahead. They've just got a couple of units out of supply, but they're poised to make some serious thrusts to this very weakened Polish centre, and Warsaw is beckoning. So the scenario is played out really well. The points at the moment, the Poles are on 3 victory points, but in a moment these cities, Mazar and Babrusk, are going to be taken over because some Polish garrisons were there and they've just been starved out, and Soviet forces haven't yet entered them. So 3 victory points would have been coming towards the Soviets in a second, giving them a 1 victory point lead as we head into the last couple of rounds here. So the game is really well poised, and And yeah, it's just a shame we couldn't finish it, but work is on tomorrow morning for some of the guys, and they've got a 30-minute drive home, and it's now 1 a.m. and it's freezing outside. So that's scenario 4. Very well balanced scenario. My views on Strike of the Eagle are changing slightly. It's the more I'm playing it, the more I'm really enjoying it. And we have now played every scenario in the book other than the campaign, and we've just decided that rather than start our OCS campaign in a few weeks when Hamish gets back from Europe, we've agreed to do the full Strike of the Eagle campaign. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's scenario 4, Strike of the Eagle. We've called it a Soviet victory because on the balance of probabilities we think the Soviets were going to pull it off with a victory point win in the next round or so anyway.